Karina Holmer's murder is one of the most brutal and intriguing cases in U.S. crime history and was described by one Boston Globe headline writer as half a body in a dumpster. However, neither the lower half of Karina Holmer's torso nor the murderer have ever been traced, and the case has remained unsolved to this day. Before her brutal murder, Karina earlier won around $1,500 with a lottery ticket in Sweden and decided to use the money to go to the United States. The 19-year-old secured a job as an au pair in Boston and spent her weekends partying with new friends in downtown Boston. She was last seen on June 21, 1996, late Friday night at the Alley Bar, and around 3 a.m., outside of the Zanzibar. She may have also been spotted walking up Tremont Street, between Boylston and Park Street, in Boston. Circumstances: Karina went out dancing with friends at a nightclub in the theater district, reportedly becoming quite drunk. Unable to locate her friends, witnesses recall seeing Karina step outside and promptly disappeared. Body found. The top half of Karina's torso was found in a trash bin behind an apartment building at 1091 Boylston Street that Sunday. Autopsy report. According to Karina Holmer's autopsy, she was strangled to death at about 9 o'clock in the morning, then sawed in half at the waist. Her purse was missing, along with her Nokia cell phone. It was reported that Karina Holmer was intoxicated, and her friends had left her by herself. Police reports indicate that she was last seen walking up Tremont Street between Boylston and Park Streets. Eventually, more than 300 witnesses were interviewed in the case by police, including Karina's employer, but the mystery of her demise remains unsolved. Some people said she was last seen singing and dancing with a homeless man in the streets near the club. Others reported she got into various vehicles in the wee hours after the club closed. A man and his dog who reportedly cruised around wearing matching Superman shirts on weekend nights, was interviewed by police. She was also seen talking to a spirited nocturnal neighborhood person that morning, who eventually committed suicide. Apart from these, Karina had dated a Boston police officer just before her disappearance, which added intrigue to the case.
The greatest obstacle in the investigation is the absence of a crime scene. The only physical evidence is a partial fingerprint found in the garbage bag that her upper body was discovered in, and the rope marks on her neck which caused her strangulation.
Herb Whitten, the man previously mentioned with the dog and the Superman t-shirt, was briefly considered as a suspect. However, Whitten had a strong alibi. He had been driving back home to Andover after he had been seen speaking to Karina. While driving, he had gotten a speeding ticket. It did not fit into the timeline of Karina's murder that he would return home, go back to Boylston Place and then kidnap and kill Karina, then dismember and dump her body. A year later after Karina's murder, Whitten committed suicide. Karina's employers, Frank Rapp and Susan Nichter, were also investigated as suspects. Other young nannies knew of Frank Rapp and referred to him as creepy. Neither had an alibi for the night Karina was murdered, and the following Monday, police were called to the home of Frank and Susan due to a fire which had started in a dumpster on their property. The ashes from the fire were tested for any traces of human remains, but none were found. John Zwiz, an industrial music musician, was also considered to be a suspect. Zwiz lived not far from where Karina's body was found. At the time of Karina's murder and during the subsequent investigation, Zwiz's heroin addiction was becoming increasingly worse. Also, the music and performances of Zwiz's band, Sleep Chamber, were controversial, given the themes of S&M and bondage. However, no charges in the murder of Karina Holmer were ever brought.
The killer has therefore remained unidentified.
Karina Holmer had been working for 4 months as an au pair for Frank Rapp and Susan Nichter, a Dover couple with 2 children. She was as comfortable in flannel shirts and jeans as weekend party outfits. When Karina went out that evening of June 1996, she was celebrating the summer solstice, the biggest holiday in Sweden, and the longest day of the year. But it would become the darkest day of her young life. She was brutally murdered, and her remains were found in the trash off Boylston Street, when a homeless man rummaging through a dumpster found the upper part of her body. After that, an extensive investigation has been conducted, where everyone puts their own theory but the killer remains unidentified. Now, it is one in a long line of cases in Boston that have gone cold, spanning decades. There are nearly 1,000 unsolved homicides in the city.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and share if you want to watch more videos like this.